Okay, hello world and people at Larson Training Centers. How's everyone doing today?
Doing well.
Doing well? Okay, what's Mike Anderson doing?
I'm well.
Okay, so we are going to get started today. It's February 5th, 2016. And how would everybody think of the Jesuit yesterday?
I keep it winning for a while.
You what?
I said I keep it winning for a while.
Oh, did you? After? Okay. How about you, Larry? You had some good questions while I was here.
He's a nice guy.
Okay. He was what? Insightful? So I received a text from our president yesterday because he was up down in California watching it. And let's see, what did he say? He said, awesome. Tell Father, great job. No, that's good. Good that he would say that. Yeah. Yeah, because he is a bishop. Our president is a bishop in a more than one church. So that is good praise, compliment. And so, how else was he?
He was very excited. It was interesting.
He was fun. Huh? Oh, Jerry. We'll see. Okay, good. So, so he was good, informative, learned, talked about honesty and integrity, right? Okay.
Pretty thorough. Make sure that we answer all our questions.
Good. And I understand from Phyllis that he stayed a lot longer.
Yeah. You waited for the pizza to me and him have Deanna. You put him in there for a while.
Good. Okay. Well, I can promise you that you will remember this for the rest of your life if you value what your introduction to the Jesuits, to be able to spend time one-on-one is a very good thing. All right, so on other issues, we did, I got a call from John Bisick, who's running the campus at Casa Grande. So they had scheduled, Patrick had scheduled Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday to do resumes. And last night I got a call from John saying we finished it in 2 days. So that's good. And there's 21 people in the turning point. And I said, how many people of the 21, because remember 2 days ago I was there, or 3 days ago, of the 21, how many people want to could you let me know what's going on here? So he thinks almost everybody is going to be in the class. And I said, well, how many people do you want? How many people can you handle? So we agreed there's 20 computers in the classroom, the campus that we have there. And we agreed that there should be a couple computers left over in case somebody needs to go in. And that we agreed, unless we need to, we'll just have the middle, because you know, on the left side, there's 3 people sitting there, and on the right, there's 2. So we agreed we'd have 2 people. So we're going to have 14 people starting class there next week at Casa Grande. And I received a call from Clark County Detention Center about putting a campus in there, because they have a room with computers in it. So our program, that part of the program is doing well. We'll have a new student in here on Tuesday. And then today I was with Frank Bonanno from Fifth Avenue Restaurant Group and sharing with him the good news, and he is gung-ho 100%. And we might be able to get other people into that program, because Ed Robusto will be working on the background check stuff. And I think with Frank, if If everything checks out and the properties don't care, he doesn't have an aversion to helping people, despite the fact that, what their situation was. In other words, he's not a person who says, "Oh, they've gone to prison, forget it." But he has constraints on what he can do based upon the property, the casinos that he's in. So he announced to me today, told me his good news is, in the properties, the MGM properties where they are located, I think there are about 10 MGM properties, Fifth Avenue Restaurant Group is replacing McDonald's in the food courts. So starting in June, there will not be any McDonald's. They're going to be Johnny Rockets. So that's good. And then he's putting another Trattoria Reggiano in the Rio, so he'll have 3. So what do you think about that? So that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's good. So the next thing that's going to happen is probably next week, his head of HR will come here. Well, actually, what we want is Dawn Malone from the VA to set up and bring in as many vets as he can to an orientation. And then we'll have Frank coming in as his person. So that's good. But we are gathered here for what?
Memorization.
Right. Is anybody doing Gettysburg Address? Has anybody done that? Oh. 407 years ago. What's next? Our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. That one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. All right. Who's gonna do what?
I'm doing Mr. Mentu.
Who's gonna do the roles, Ed? The roles.
I do the one.
Okay.
I'll do
What's the beginning? Mike's doing that. Oh, okay. Can you do that? Okay. You remember how Jamie Beto used to do it? Weren't you here when Jamie was here?
Yeah, but he used to really get into it. All right, quiet.
Yeah, quiet. I said quiet.
Yeah.
Get down and give me 10. Yeah, little rubber band guy. Okay, good. So let's get started. And who's going to go first? Who wants to get it over with? Looks like Jesus. Okay, good. All right.
My own set. 3.
My name is Jesus, and this is my 11th week at Larson Training Center, and I will be reading the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln, November 19, 1863. 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new conceived in liberty and dedicated to a proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on the great battlefield of that war. We have to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that the nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, but in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot allow this ground. The brave men living and the dead who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will no longer remember what we say hurt, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated her to be unfinished work who fought here and thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of people by the people for the people shall not perish from the earth.
Wait. Final set. Hello, world. My name is Michael, and I'm here at Larson Training Center. And I've completed Larson on December 18th, 2015. And I will be reading For Everything There is a Season, Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. For everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under the heavens, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up the which has been planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. Thank you. All right, quiet on the set. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, my name is Larry Spellman. My 7th memorization test. I need more time for the poem I was supposed to do, so I'm going to do the Lord's Prayer for you. My Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we have forgiven those who have trespassed against us. Lord, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
All right. Good job.
Good job there. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
That's the wrong version.
Quiet on the set.
3.
I'm Edward Edge, and I'm doing Mr. Methu by Benjamin Franklin. Mr. Methu had a comrade, his name was Didn't You. If you had the chance to meet them, have they ever called on you? These two fellows lived together and the house would never win. Some say that it's haunted by the ghosts of might have been.
That's good. That was good. That was good. I said you took yours. Well, let you.
Now I gotta find it.
I know. Okay.
Quiet on the set.
Take your blocks.
Oh, that sure was for you.
Okay, I find it. I am Deanna.
Quiet on the set. 3.
Hi, my name is Deanna, and I am a graduate of Larson Training Centers. I graduated 2 weeks ago, this year, 2016, and I will be reciting Mr. Mentu by Benjamin Franklin. Mr. Mentu has a comrade, and his name is Didn't Do. Have you ever chanced to meet them? Did they ever call on you? These two fellows lived together in the house of Neverwin, and I'm told that it is haunted by the ghost of my heaven.
Well, I'm back to close the day out, you know. But before we leave, I want Phyllis to come up here and sing us a song. You know. So let's give Phyllis a hand. She's shy. Maybe next time. So catch you later. We're out of here.
No.